Hi guys, so I've said before, when it comes to Brexit, we need to listen to experts and not politicians. However, sometimes politicians are also experts and will pretend not to know something in order to push a narrative. Now, following the acquittal of the Colston 4 by a jury, we've heard from both politicians and commentators on the right complain about how this sets a precedent, meaning more people will go out and trash statues, for example. Well, Joanna Cherry SNP MP is both a politician and a legal expert. Here she explains in simple terms how both Tories and those on the right trying to capitalise on this case are either ignorant of the law or worse, pretending to be. Let's hear her explain why this doesn't set a precedent.
Well, I don't think it will have any particular impact on the future at all, because jury verdicts don't set precedents. They're not like decisions of judges. They're very much specific to the case in hand and decided on the facts before them. And I do think some of the attacks on the jury in the Colston case have been quite petty and ill-informed, and in some ways on a par with the attacks on the judiciary, which we saw at the height of the Brexit crisis. And I really don't think politicians should question jury verdicts just because we don't like them. That's damaging to the separation of powers and the rule of law. And politicians need to respect jury verdicts because the jury are in the unique position of hearing all the evidence and the legal argument and the charge from the judge. And the politicians haven't done that. So
I love this. The politicians have not done that. The politicians have not been sitting there in the trial. They have not been listening to the evidence. They haven't been listening to both sides of the arguments presented by the prosecution and the defence. Neither have people from Talk Radio or GB News or LBC. We can comment on it, but we can't criticise the jury trial and the idea that, you know, judges will look at previous cases, but you can't do that when it comes to a jury trial.
So I don't approve of politicians who question jury verdicts. I have to say that I spent many years as a prosecutor, a sex crimes prosecutor, and there were many times that the jury verdict enraged me. But it wasn't my role as a lawyer to question it, and it's not my role now as a politician to do so. And frankly, I think some of the lectures we've had in the last 48 hours from some Tory ministers, not all, and some Tory MPs on threats to the rule of law are really a bit rich, given their government's record, from the unlawful prorogation of Parliament to the Internal Market Bill. And also the corruption we're currently seeing at the heart of the British government. So really, I won't take any lectures about the rule of law from the Tory party, and I don't think the Colston 4 or the Colston jury should either. And incidentally, I was a bit puzzled by the Attorney-General saying that she's going to refer this to the Court of Appeal, because she'd need to identify an error of law in order to do that. And I don't think she's actually done that. I think she just doesn't like the verdict very much.
And she probably won't carry through with her threat. It's just a political threat. It's just, once again, jumping on a bandwagon. Oh, look, those on the right are angry that a statue was torn down, and politicians are trying to profit from that, take advantage of that anger. We're on your side, angry people. Look at these terrible individuals destroying history, destroying this public property. The politicians and those on the right will always try to take advantage of these situations. And what's disgusting is that the Attorney General, who should understand the law, and obviously does understand the law, is for this moment pretending not to understand the law in order to take advantage of the situation. But this is what we've come to expect from the Tories and from the commentators on the right. But when it comes to statues, I always find it funny that, for example, the destruction of the statue of Saddam Hussein in Iraq was cheered on by people on the right, for example. So when it comes to some statues, they're angry. When it comes to other statues, they're perfectly happy to see them torn down. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.